Your peace is super important to you. Your ability to feel at peace, to feel grounded, to feel good in your own body, in your own self, in your energy, in your environment. This is important to you. You realize it and you know it. But how do you protect it? How do you protect it? Also, you may have felt this before. Like you get up and you've heard the phrase, like, okay, I got up on the wrong side of the bed, or you get up and you're irritated or you're agitated, or throughout the day things were going well. And then all of a sudden you feel anxious or you feel nervous or you feel angry or you feel, again, irritated, right? Oftentimes, if you're like me, oftentimes you can just sit for a moment, you can trace it back to, ooh, okay, it's something she said, or it's something he did, or it's that environment that I was in. But other times, you may not be able to trace it back and you may not be able to pinpoint it. And those times, very often, more than not, it isn't your energy. It isn't even your emotion, right? It's someone else's energy, someone else's stress, someone else's anxiety that's come in, it's attached itself. And what am I talking about? Yeah, it is energetics, but it is also biophysical, right? So the answer then is not stronger boundaries or more boundaries or, protect the boundaries or create more boundaries. That's not the answer. So today we're going to talk about how to protect your energy. If you're feeling this, what kind of things might be going on? It's most likely one of three things or a mixture of the three. So I'm going to let you know what they are, and I'm going to give you some things that really get to the core of you protecting your energy so that the boundaries that you're wanting to have are natural results. Okay, so let's talk about it. If you're new here, I'm Latoya Zavala. I'm your energy mastery coach, guide, and practitioner, the founder of the Phoenix Goddess Collective and the Awakening Lounge. These are communities where you learn more about shifting your identity, protecting your energy, strengthening your manifesting and your intuitive natural tools, right? Your goddess energy, your light within you, expanding the way that your soul came here to expand, reaching the next level of yourself. So let's get into it. I want to talk about some things. Let me give you some examples. We know now, right? And I saw this as I was watching an interview with Dr. Tara Swartz, that when a person is feeling stressed and they maintain that stress for a period of time and the cortisol levels increase, we know now that those cortisol levels will in fact leak through your skin, right? The cortisol levels will in fact leak through your skin, and they'll leak through your skin for, a distance, and that it's contagious. So if it's contagious, with cortisol levels, we're talking about stress. We're talking about heightened, anxiousness, nervousness, fear. And so if it's contagious, that means that other people can do what? Pick it up, absorb it, right? Catch it, if you will, right? So we know this biophysically. So when we say energetics, when we say protecting your energy, when we say protecting your aura, when we say, protecting the space around you, now, whatever you want to call it, science, biology, what's the other word? Mind science, I forget what it's called now, right? But we know this now. So some of the things that you have labeled woo-woo, right? Protecting your energy, it is in fact your nature. We also know that your cells are not solid. They're actual vibrating energy. They're things that vibrate energy. It's just your entire body is a community of things that vibrate energy. So Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the universe and you are a part of that, you will understand in terms of what? Frequency, vibration, and energy. The very core of you is in fact vibrating energy. So when we're talking about protecting your peace, protecting your happiness, protecting your stability, Protecting, when you say my heart or my peace of mind, or we're talking about protecting your energy. When we're talking about, okay, I want to have firm boundaries, what are you talking about? You're talking about protecting your energy. But it's not only about, let me say that, it's not only about saying more yeses or saying more nos or setting more time frames. It's not that. There's a core to it. So when my, I'll say it in terms of anonymity. So a certain person that I'm super close to got up one morning and was saying, I feel kind of down, and I can't detect why. And yet his intuition was telling him that it had to do with this other person who's close to us. And though that other person had not said what they were carrying, the person who was feeling the heaviness, feeling the sadness, his intuition was telling him. Much later on that day, we understood that it was in fact true. And when a release happened, an emotional release happened, they both actually felt release. So the answer in that instance was not necessarily putting up a boundary or holding the boundary. It was really tuning into your body, which can be a tuning fork, understanding what it's feeling, and then giving space for finding out what the origin point is. And then allowing intuition to move you through what gets to be healed or released or uh, discharged or elevated or talked through, right? It's really allowing your senses, your physical senses, your body, your intuition, your entire body system to help you navigate what it means to protect your energy. Another instance, I have been talking with a few of my clients. Fascinatingly, that this time period there was a lot of movement in the sky, right? Whether you believe in astrology or not. There was new moon, solar eclipse, meteor shower, Barbel's belt, the planetary parade, the planetary alignment, like a lot of things were happening in the sky, whether you're aware or not, right? And so quite a few clients were coming, not even aware that all of those things were happening, but their body was responding in a way that didn't feel good. So when we went into Reiki session, it was clear to me that their senses were being overloaded, right? So in the Reiki session, we had some clearing, we had some grounding, we had some like energy discharging, and then we were able to clear and help some relief. What I want to say is, though, oftentimes when we're like, oh, okay, this person could have thought, or these people, because it was several of them, could have thought, I need to put up more boundaries. It wasn't about boundaries. It was about the energy that was already being overloaded and absorbed in their body. So it was really about tuning in. The body is saying too much, too much, too much. We really need to get to earth. We need to get to ground. We need to get to nature. We need to pull away from a lot of people, they think, okay, I need to do some more meditation or more tools or more rituals or more prayers or more. And for these people, it was come away from that and be with nature, with the human, the humanity, be with food, be with the earth, be with sand and soil. So the fix is not always, it's not the canned answer, right? Okay, I need to do a meditation, or I need to do an activation, or I need to set a boundary with this person, or it's not that. It's really tuning in. It's this. Knowing yourself so deeply, honoring yourself so deeply, loving yourself so fiercely, understanding yourself, and moving accordingly. And I'm going to get to the blocks to that because that's really what this is about. It's really what this is about. But here are the four things that are most likely happening. Awareness, because your body's communicating all the time, right? Oh, let me put my little caption up here. um, your body's communicating all the time, right? Your body is equipped with sensories and antennas and tuning. Your hair stands up, your eye twitches, the butterflies in the stomach. Your body's equipped to communicate with you all the time, right? Oftentimes what we're calling intuition is your body communicating with you. But here's what happens. It can be one of four things in this awareness level. One, you're unaware completely. And when your body's communicating to what's happening with its energy, you attribute it to something else because you're totally unaware what your body's communicating, and even that your body's communicating. Number two, you're aware of your spiritual gifts. You're aware of the tuning of your body. You're aware that your body's communicating. You're aware that you see visions. You're aware that you spiritually hear. You're aware of your spiritual gifts. You're aware of the body's tuning, but you're scared. You're scared because you were taught somewhere that ability is evil. It comes from evil places, it's demonic, or you were taught that you're not supposed to have that, or you're not supposed to use that, or that it's woo-woo and it's fake. You were taught a lot of things, and yet your body continues to want to communicate these things to you. So what happens is you are aware, but you're scared, and so you suppress. And oftentimes, clients who come to me who are kind of new to experiencing their bodies and their energy, we can get to the core that the symptoms they're feeling is from suppression. Not even from there's an overload of energy that comes in, and there's an overload from suppression, right? That's number two. Number three, you are aware, but you were told that it's something else, and so you operate based on that something else, right? So there's still suppression, but you're not necessarily afraid of it. You just decide to believe that it's something else because you don't want to look stupid, or you don't want to look too woo-woo or spiritual, and yet you know what's going on, right? That's number three. Number four, you are aware, you're experiencing it, and you're ready. Latoya, show me how to maneuver. Show me how to protect my energy. Show me how to use my energy more effectively. Show me how to attune to my body. Show me how to really be in alignment, right? That's really the four levels, as I see it, as in my experience in this work, of awareness, right? Okay, so let's talk about it. Your boundaries are not something you need to create, and they're not something you need to enforce. This is from my perspective. And there are a lot of teachers out there that teach differently. And if that differently works for you, it works for you, right? But from the energetic perspective, if we're going deeper, if we're going to the core of who you are and how you were designed and how you're gifted, boundaries are not something that you need to create, and they're not something you need to enforce, right? If you're connected to who you are energetically as source, you're connected to your needs. You honor your needs and you honor your desires without guilt, without shame, right? Without repeating some very specific codes, or what I would call virus codes, right? Some of those virus codes, you must take care of everybody else at your expense. You must be the sacrificial lamb. Your needs, your desires don't matter as long as everybody else is good. You have to keep pushing, even though you need to be in a space of grieving or mourning or taking care of your own energy or your body. These are virus codes that will whittle you away to nothing, right? These are codes, viruses in your energetic system, right? And so these viruses, if they're allowed to exist, they will also eat away at these boundaries that you keep erecting, these boundaries that you keep creating, these boundaries that you keep, right? More yes to yourself, more no, more time schedule, more this. But if the virus codes are there, it will corrupt the boundaries. So it's not about strengthening the boundaries or more about it. It's about strengthening your frequency. Okay. So another code, virus code, in my experience, my opinion, is that in order to really begin to protect yourself from certain energies, it needs to be toxic or bad or negative, right? And that's not necessarily true. So it's simply that you are so aligned to the frequency you desire to be at, right? So you've been doing your self work. You've been doing your self development. You've been learning. You've been reading. You've been doing your practices. You've been really connecting to yourself. And you are so in tune with the vibration of your frequency, where you are, that you are so aware when you're in the presence of a frequency that's not aligned, a frequency that's lower, a frequency that's not supportive, a frequency that doesn't fit. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's evil or negative or toxic. It's just not where you are, not supportive, not able to hold your expansion, not able to hold your bigness, not able to hold your desire, not able to hold your worthiness. And I know if you're listening, I'm speaking to you. When you're so in tune, you will realize it and you will move accordingly. It's not about boundaries. It's about being so in tune with who you are, how you vibrate, and what's in harmony. This is universal law. This is our nature. So I have a cello, right? And when it's in tune, it vibrates a certain way. My cello teacher used to tell me, "Can you hear it?" Like if I play a note and it's in tune, I will hear. It's not an echo, but it's almost like a vibrational echo. You can hear it like just emanating throughout the air, and you know the cello's in tune. It's a good feeling, right? So the cello's in tune with it, where it's designed, how it's designed to be in tune. So not only does it sound good and it vibrates according to its design and it creates what it's supposed to create, other instruments that are designed similarly, that are designed to be in tune the way that it is in tune, will vibrate. We have a violin hanging up. When the cello's in tune and we pluck a certain string, the violin will vibrate. The guitar will vibrate. Other strings on the cello itself will vibrate. That's how you know it's in tune. And the others are in tune. Harmony is happening. Synchronicity is happening. It's doing what it's designed to do, not only for itself, but for others. It's not going to work if it's tuned in a way that it's not meant to be. If you tune a cello to the frequency, right, or the core note of the clarinet, it's not going to work. That's not I mean, it can work, right, with some maneuvering and manipulation, but that's not what it was designed for. And if it's not done with specific care and intentionality, right, it's when it's in its place, it's not going to harmonize. It's not going to have the impact that it's meant to have, right? I'm just talking about in the simplicity, right? So this is part of why I pull some Vedic astrology into my work, because and there are many different ways that you can pull it in, but I love Reiki because it's not about me necessarily, channeling or having psychic messages about who you are. No, Reiki brings you into you, to your source code. Who are you? And allow your body to speak to you, allow your spirit to speak to you, allow your higher self, your higher mind to speak clearly to you, who you are and why you're here. And further, where you're wanting or meant to go next, right? And the expansion, the path that your soul wants to be on. So this Reiki and Vedic astrology combination is life to me and to many of my other clients, because it's not just about the tool of boundary and setting things up and the schedule and the um, what's the word I'm looking for, right? The discipline and the things. It's how are you vibrating? What are you vibrating? If you're meant to vibrate a certain way and you're in somebody else's formula, you're not going to create the harmony, the synchronicity, the impact that you're meant to be creating, that you're meant to vibrate at. So who are you? What's your frequency? What's the frequency that you're meant to vibrate in and that you're meant to vibrate at? So when you're there, you're literally like a tuning fork. And it's honoring that. It's respecting that your actions then, you're operating according to that. And when you're operating according to that, you understand that you're not only operating according to that for your best and highest good, but also for the best and highest good of those who are connected to you and who are meant to be connected to you, who are meant to be in your, in the influence of your impact. It's that. It's that, not at the expense of yourself. Not at the sacrifice of yourself, but at the true core of your identity, of who you are. And allowing that to create the alignment. And boundaries will be set because you are honoring who you are and how you're meant to operate and how you're meant to impact and move and influence and expand and experience, because that's what your soul is really here for. Okay, I'm going to end. So what do you do? 3 ways. I'm going to give you 3 things to do now. Number 1, the best way to protect your energy is to know your energy, know your frequency. So we just came through a 21-day activation specifically for that in the Awakening Lounge. If you're not in there, come in there. You're warmly invited. So I'll drop the link. The Awakening Lounge. So, and we're getting ready to start another activation on the 28th of August, but that's what we do. Holding the space for you to know who you are and know your frequency and know how you vibrate. Not just how you vibrate, but how you desire to expand and operate, move, act, speak in your design. Okay, so know who you are, the frequencies that you're deciding to carry, right? It's not passive, right? It's active. This is who I am. This is what I'm deciding, right? And if you can't make that decision, if you feel like you're having a hard time making that decision, it's because there's virus codes connected to your worthiness, connected to what's right or righteousness, virus codes connected to people pleasing. In the Goddess Collective, we call that the mammy archetype, and there's a reason for that. You're using tools and rituals and practices, and you haven't made a decision. You don't know yet who you are and what your frequency is and how powerful it is. So know that and make the decision. That's number 1. Number 2, listen to your body. Make that a practice. I know for so long, a lot of us have been taught to ignore the body, to ignore its message, to ignore what it's been telling you, whether that's visually, clairvoyance, or audibly, or your body feeling things. And we have been taught for so long to ignore the body, to ignore the tears, to ignore the emotions, to ignore. We have been taught for so long, muscle through it, push through it. I have been taught that. I taught my eldest that. So get back to the practice of listening to your body, listening to your spiritual gifts, listening to your intuition, honoring them, If you if you honor them and you make that a no apologetic practice, you need a lot less boundaries. Okay, so number 3, you got to start dismantling and clearing the virus codes. And there are a lot. And some of them were there because of we needed them to survive. We needed them to survive as a tribe. We needed them to survive as a race. We needed them to survive as a particular gender. We needed them to survive in your culture. Some of them were implanted through organized religion. Yeah. Find them, dismantle them, clear them, and in some cases, heal them. Not in all, but in some. And make it a practice. Because until you do that, the boundaries will not work. The boundaries themselves will be eroded by virus codes. That's what we do in the Awakening Lounge. That's what we do several layers deeper in the Phoenix Goddess Collective. That's what I do with my private clients. Find the codes, dismantle them, clear them, heal them. And we replace them with who you are, your core frequencies, your light source codes, and those that you want to expand in, those that you want to now implant, those that you want to now develop, because you get to do that. That is your birthright. That is your birthright. Okay, so what's an action step you could take right now? Right now. Make a decision. What is the frequency I want to operate in? Unapologetically. Right? What is it? Okay. So I'm here. I'm here. Send me a message. If you're like, Latoya, but you don't know my life, you don't know my parents, you don't know my kids, you don't know this diagnosis. I welcome the challenge. Bring it on. Bring it. Because whatever it is, I know it's your objection. I know it's connected to a belief, which is connected to a virus code. So let's find it. Let's find it and let's get you to the next level. I am sending you so much love and so much power always. Drop me a comment. Let me know you are watching replay, you're watching live. Let me know what all was going on. Have a fantastic weekend. And I'll